Hi, my name is James Albus, and I want to tell you about a new world. A world of peace, prosperity, and economic justice. A world where no one is poor, and opportunities to grow rich are abundant. A world where everyone has enough to eat, a decent place to live, a steady, livable income, good medical care, a good education, a safe neighborhood, a clean environment, and a secure retirement. This world does not exist, but it could. We have the technology to create the wealth required. For business, the problem is not in production, but in attracting customers. Walk into any mall or supermarket. The shelves are stuffed with products. Manufacturers would gladly produce more, if only there were more customers. We have the productive capacity to satisfy market demand, and capitalism can expand productive capacity whenever there is a market with buyers. The problem lies in the distribution of income. If people don't have money, they can't buy what they need. 2.8 billion humans live on less than $2 a day. 37 million Americans live in poverty. On the other hand, in a parallel universe, some people have income greater than $100,000 per day. There's something wrong with a system that creates this degree of disparity. Democracy itself cannot long survive such a wide gap between rich and poor. Unfortunately, the current system of income distribution guarantees poverty, and poverty breeds poverty. The poor don't have enough income for the things necessary for success. For example, healthy food, clean water, decent housing, good sanitation, adequate medical care, or a modern education. The poor are vulnerable to personal violence, discrimination and humiliation, depression and desperation. They're vulnerable to false promises by religious and political opportunists. They're vulnerable to enlistment in radical groups, gangs, and armies. What is wrong? Two fundamental economic practices have become problematic. First, most income is based on the economic value of human labor. Second, bank lending policies prevent most people from acquiring ownership of productive assets. These were not serious problems until recent advances in technology and globalization. So what is the solution? We need to shift income from wages and salaries to income from ownership of capital assets. How can we do that? Provide broad access to ownership of capital so that all citizens receive income from capital investments. Then technology and globalization will produce wealth that generates income for all of us. Then everyone would benefit from increasing productivity, rich and poor alike. How could this be done? First, have the Federal Reserve issue credit to member banks for loans to individuals for investment in approved investment funds. These loans would be secured by shares in the funds. Second, replace interest rates with mandatory savings as the tool for controlling inflation. These savings would be deposited in personal accounts. This is the Peoples Capitalism plan for prosperity and economic justice. The expected benefits of Peoples Capitalism is, number one, investment rate doubles, stock market soars, economy grows more than 6% a year. Number 2, inflation is held below 2% by mandatory savings. 3, every citizen becomes a capitalist with an investment portfolio that grows by at least $6,000 per year. And finally, the minimum income from capital ownership grows in 10 years to only $1,600 per year. But in 20 years, it grows to $5,000 per year. In 40 years, it grows to $29,000 per year. And at 50 years, it grows to $58,000 per year per person. Thus, in less than 50 years, poverty would cease to exist. This new world is possible in your lifetime. You can help to make it happen. Tell your friends about this. People have no idea that this is possible. Tell your parents. They will have never heard of it. Tell your classmates. Tell your teacher. Ask your economics professor why Peoples Capitalism is not in your economics textbooks. Tell your local newspaper reporters and editorial writers. Tell your local candidate for office. And learn more about Peoples Capitalism yourself. This is a serious proposal to achieve prosperity and economic justice through market capitalism with widespread ownership of capital assets. If you want more information, go to the webpage peoplescapitalism.org. If you want to learn about the person behind it, myself, go to james-albas.org. You can start a People's Capitalism club or discussion group in your school. If you want to do something really big, start a People's Capitalism party and run for elective office. At the very least, think about it. After all, it's your life. Wouldn't you prefer to live it in a new world with prosperity and economic justice for all?